Janet Yellen is in China with a tough message for her hosts. The US Treasury Secretary says the country is producing too much of everything and the world can't absorb it all. Yellen arrived in Guangzhou on Thursday for days of meetings with top economic officials. In talks Friday with the governor of Guangdong province, she wasted no time getting to the point.
And this includes the issue of China's industrial overcapacity, which the United States and other countries are concerned can cause global spillovers.
Amid weak demand at home and fueled by government support, China has unleashed a flood of cheap goods onto global markets. That has prices for many goods tumbling, putting pressure on producers in other countries. Yellen identified electric vehicles and solar panels as among areas of concern. Now she wants to convince China that curbing the excess would be in its own interest. Addressing the American Chamber of Commerce in Guangzhou, she drew parallels with a previous era of change.
China's implementation of market reforms generated one of the most significant economic success stories of our lifetimes, lifting hundreds of millions of people from poverty. There's potential for significant gains from reform now as well.
China may take some convincing, however. Officials have set an ambitious growth target of around 5% for the year and are widely expected to do more stimulus measures as part of a bid to hit that figure. Yellen is meeting a series of senior figures over the coming days, including one of the country's vice premiers. She's also expected to raise concerns that China is becoming a less friendly place for foreign firms and investors.
Workers in Taiwan's Yellen city began dismantling a building tilted over by this week's earthquake. It had been slanting precariously since the 7.2 magnitude tremor struck, killing at least a dozen people. Earlier in the day, locals gathered in front of the 10-story Uranus building with flowers, fruit and joss paper to pray for the safe demolition. Rescue workers on Friday, meanwhile, continued to search for 18 people still missing after what was the island's biggest earthquake in at least 25 years. The mayor of Yellen told Reuters 3 foreigners of Australian and Canadian nationality are among those missing. Dozens of aftershocks have rattled the disaster zone, with those who had been cut off and unable to leave gradually taken to safety. A memorial service was held on Friday for victims of the quake. Buddhist monks were seen at a local funeral parlor chanting in front of pictures of the deceased placed on an altar. The quake struck a day before Taiwan began a long weekend holiday for the traditional Tomb Sweeping Festival, a time when tourists visit scenic spots like Yellen to enjoy its natural beauty.